welcome back with another S15 Resto Mod video. I want to upgrade the sound system. Now I'm going with the Ultra 90s feel, and I've installed, or I've already changed the rears with some 6x9s. That was a little bit of a mission because the holes that were there already didn't line up, and so I was struggling with that. And because of the slope of that window back there, you can see there's not much space to actually install the 6x9s, but I've got them in and they're sounding really, really good. It's amazing what a good pair of speakers does compared to a cheap, crappy pair that I've replaced them with. Now, what I want to do here today is install the front set of speakers, or mainly the tweeters especially. So there is a specific spot for these, and it's behind this little trim here. I've seen some other installs online where they're in that little triangle piece. I don't think that's ideal because there's really not much space back there, and also in the pillar here, but I don't think that's ideal either. So this is the speaker kit that I got, and I got it specifically because of the 6x9, which has some good power and some really nice specs to it, and mainly the tweeters here. So this is the actual unit for the tweeter. And the main thing that I wanted was to be able to aim the tweeter as well, so that you see that you can pivot that in its little housing. And that's gonna help to give the best sort of sound imaging in the car, because when you close those doors, the aiming of the tweeters is a little bit funny, I think anyway, and it's not aimed towards the listener. So to be able to aim the tweeters this way, it'll help to really optimize the sound to get the best sound stage. The first job to do is to remove the door cards and then have a look-see back behind that trim to figure out where it's going to sit. So this is what I mean by the tweeters. If they weren't able to be aimed, they'll be in a funny spot. So you see when you shut the door, this is quite flat and it just points towards the middle of the car here. So what I want to be able to do is to be able to aim that tweeter so it's actually pointing up towards the head, or as best as it can towards my face, and that'll really help to get the best sound from these tweeters. So this is actually pretty funny. Now that I've taken this door card off, I can see that this speaker here is actually different to the one on the passenger side. I've already taken that one off to have a look at some of the bits and pieces back there, but it's definitely different. This is a coaxial unit, whereas the other one is a component unit, and they're completely different models, different sizes. So yes, this car is definitely all over the shop. So while I'm here, I'm actually going to grease up the tracks for the power windows, because up the top it moves quite slowly, but you can see in there the top of the track, and it's at the top of its position where it kind of struggles, especially on this side. So there's the top of the track there that I'm gonna put some grease in. I'll probably access through this hole here. We'll probably need to use like a screwdriver or something to get the grease up in that section without pulling apart the regulator a lot. I've already greased up this bottom bit, these sections here as well, that's all greased up. So hopefully I've already put some grease in the back of this track here as well. But it's not that side that struggles, it's this side here, and I'll just show you that. Cool, so I'm happy with the window movement now that it's greased up. Back to doing the tweeters. All right, so this is the back of the door card. This is the driver's side. It's going to be the same as the passenger side, just opposite. And you can see that these little tangs hold that trim piece in. So there's one that's meant to be there, but of course it's broken. But just carefully push these out, and you're able to remove the trim piece there. And you can see there's like this perfect spot for the tweeter to go there, and I think it's going to be just the right size for what we need. Okay, so my instructions say to have this sort of swivel mount drill a 51mm or 2-inch diameter hole, which I've got a hole saw for, and then I've got to sort of disassemble this a little bit to then be able to fit it there. I think it's going to fit nicely. You can see that that kind of like sits. Whoops. You can see that sits in there sort of nice and perfectly, really, which is awesome. I think it's going to work out really well. With the pilot hole drilled, the correct hole saw piece can be used. Now, the trim gets really hot when making the big hole, so maybe get your helper to wear gloves. Now that the hole is made and in the perfect spot, the trim piece can be installed and the tweeter mounted. Now don't do what I did and force it on and break the trim. This actually required some extra trimming of the raised ring on the reverse side of the tweeter mounting panel. Now I was really lucky that having just the one arm allowed a secure mounting of the tweeter still, which is really good. Install the door trim piece back into the door and then put everything back together. I left the original connections on the factory speaker plug because they'll come in handy in the future, and I like to keep the original connections for a cleaner install. Can't forget about connecting up the amp either. I got this for a really good price, and there were already a ground, power, RCA and speaker leads routed to the rear of the car, so it was really easy to hook everything up. With everything powered up, it all sounds really good, and the 6x9s in the rear with the new tweeters up front give everything a nice and lively soundstage, so it's awesome and I'm really happy with it. And as a bonus, they look really smart as well. Any questions on the install, let me know in the comments below. Also remember to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for more Silvia S15 Resto Mod videos. Thanks for watching.